I'm going to do 2 projects today. Did a beautiful loaf of bread yesterday. It's my typical recipe. All-purpose flour, 500 grams. Where is it? I used the Pullman loaf pan with the lid off. And I made that loaf of bread. It is stunning. It is lovely. It's also very tall. So one slice will make a sandwich for me, which is great. I'm going to take a few more slices off of it and freeze it. But I also wanted something with some seeds, so I'm just going to do a seeded bread today. And because I have sausages, and I nearly forgot about them, I'm going to do sausage rolls. So I'm going to make 2 recipes. My levain from yesterday, I still had plenty. So I popped it in the fridge for a couple of hours. I am going to do the starter management thing. Because I realized something yesterday. It's not that my technique works. And it's very similar to what everybody else is doing. It's just I manipulate the time by popping it into the fridge and only making a levain when I'm ready by using my starter, which I keep in the fridge perpetually. But I'll talk about that in a different video. I think that's what September, October's for, and January. Plus holidays. Sausage rolls. First, seeded bread. We're gonna do my typical. I'm just gonna pre-measure the water. The levain is not ready. It's 9:42. It's close, but yesterday it just was taking off at 10 a.m. and it's not quite 10 yet, so I'm just going to pre-prepare everything. So first, water. Let's start with the salt. 9 grams. 9 grams is perfect in these temperatures. 9 it is. 350 grams of water. I'm getting good at this, except I still have, I did not offer salt. Whoops, a little too much now. I'm just going to put this aside. Three grams. We're literally just going to do a tablespoon. Okay. And the rest will be flour and some spice and the levain. So just going to put that aside. Now back to this. I'm doing a seeded bread. But the quantities were larger. I have no idea. Should be more than enough. Okay, that is poppy seed. I'll have to check to see what I did. But basically, a tablespoon and a bit. I'm going to add some sesame seeds. 20 grams. That's fine. I have to reserve some for the outside. Not be soaking the sunflower seeds. Let's add some chia. Just a little bit. I have flax too, but chia and flax is a good combination. All right, so half a tablespoon of the chia because this will swell and they will steal some moisture from my recipe. Chia is lovely. It's also a binding agent, so now that I think about it, let's add another 5 grams of water. It won't steal a lot, but it'll steal enough. So 5 more grams of water. That was 15, 20. We'll be all right. Oops. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. I am looking at the starter and Levant, and I am thinking we're going to be close. So I don't mind doing this. It's not cross-contaminate. And let's add a thyme and basil to this one. Because I want a pinch of thyme. Doing it now. I do have the fresh, but I won't use the fresh. I have plenty of this too. This is a lovely bread, by the way, this flavor combination. A pinch. It's a good pinch. Make that a pinch in a bit. Basil. Use good basil. You dry your own. Also, if you have basil seeds, you can take a small pinch of basil seeds, crush them, and sprinkle them in like pepper. If you ever want me to know what to do with basil seeds, they're edible. If you have a prolific. This is lemon pepper, which I do buy, but it is organic. From scratch, but I'm not insane. Okay, so now we leave that alone. I'm going to give it one more whisk. I now know what I'm doing in terms of how I'm going to write it out on the blog because I have recorded it, and I will put it to a transcript and it will tell me what the recipe is. Over here. The sausages are cooling. I did want to add fresh sage to the sausage roll mix. Just a second. Because I like fresh sage. If you're doing this for kids, I don't know if they like sage. I like sage. I think it's a lovely plant. If I were doing an infused olive oil, well, I can do that later actually. Let's put that there. Because I don't have any flavored oil right now. Just a little. Put a pinch of thyme in. Just a pinch. If it were Christmas, I would have added like a nib of clove too. But ground. A little bit of nutmeg, but it is still warm out, so we're not doing that. Okay. now we wait. And I'll show you the rest. Let the sausages cool and drain well. Put these in a bowl. But I have no problem with taking something like this, allowing it to cool, and then doing some sausage rolls when I have nibbles for my freezer. All right, so 10:30, 75.6. I do have the air running, but it's going to be a hot, hot day. Yesterday my bread was ready. I started at 10:30 and it was ready to bake it. I believe it was 5:30. So I'm going to make the assumption that we're about the same. Okay. Knowing your temperatures will help you. And your kitchen is not my kitchen. We have to bake for our environment. But these little tips, and something I was thinking about last night while I'm thinking about it, is commercial yeast requires a longer proofing time, if I remember correctly. I've been reading about some bits and pieces. Sourdough has a longer bulk and then a shorter proof, and we don't degas sourdough. Commercial baking, I think it's about a 50-50 split, or you do the bulk, then you split the dough, shape the loaf, degas it when you shape the loaf, and then let it proof, continually ferment again. We don't degas. Well, we do. It depends on the bread. But the typical sourdough loaf, we don't degas. Where commercial yeast, we do. And I was thinking about that because when I first started into the sourdough realm, that's something I kept getting tripped up on. You degas commercial yeast. You don't degas naturally leavened or wild yeast breads because it takes too long for the bread to come back up. Having said that, it will depend on your bread. Now, let's add 100 grams of levain. We know what the temperature is. This is my levain. Happy. Okay. I only need 100 grams. And there we go. Okay, 102. We're good. 104. We're good with that. That little extra yeasty happening. So before I add flour, I do find this method works really well in a warm environment. I am not, and I'm talking about the mixing method, the folding, allowing it to ferment on its own. That still works for me, not so much with the seeds. But the all-in mix method works at these temperatures really well. Sometimes I've been messing with some salt levels to see if it would make a difference. It makes a bit of a difference. But we know in future, on cold days, in my environment, we add more levain. These temperatures, whatever the recipe says, works. Hotter temperatures, less levain. Scoop, scoop. all-purpose flour. I find the all-purpose works. It's Canadian. It's strong flour. It gives me the crumb that I like. Bread flour works too. It's just a little chewier. 130. 245. And bread flour takes a wee bit longer to ferment. We are discovering. As a matter of fact, just a second. Okay, so I'm a little over. We'll save that for I'll save that for the sausage rolls. So it's 501. I will talk less. But I do want to show you the same bread recipe, same timing. Just a second. Bread flour loaf. All-purpose flour, bread flour. Same recipe. The time. This went into the oven around the same time. This should have gone for an extra hour. So, so you know, you can even see the color difference, right? This is a bread flour. Canadian flour, but you cannot. I was just testing the Pullman loaf, testing the temperatures in here. I have run out of all-purpose flour, so I did the bread flour instead, and I didn't realize that it was going to be an hour longer. And I seriously, it's the flour. It's not my imagination. Whole wheat ferments faster. All-purpose flour seems to ferment, well, right on time. So bread flour takes a little longer. All-purpose flour is about the standard recipe that I can tell. I might be wrong. Again, I'm still reading. And if you guys are checking AI, be careful with the information that you're getting. I know, because I'm a baker, that when I do check, because let's face it, it's part of Google now. I also write, so I use it to help edit. I do not let it write for me. But I tell you what, you cannot trust the information that you're getting back. 80% of the time, 85% of the time, in my opinion, it is accurate. But I get some results that are contradictory to what I'm doing. And whether it's because maybe I didn't put in all the information, it's possible. But I also think that it checks wax at different sources. And then I think the word is aggregate, so mediocreizes. Finds a common ground, but not everybody's saying the same thing out there. The number of times I've had to push back on bulk fermentation. Okay, we're gonna let this soak. This is why this method works. Anyways, check your sources. The most important thing when you are baking sourdough is you're baking for your kitchen, your environment, your oven, your system. And bread is a system. It's not just a recipe, because I know bread is a system. Because we have unleavened breads, leavened breads, whole wheat flour breads, seeded breads, all-purpose flour breads, breads with mixed flours, pumpernickel breads, rye breads. Every bread, every flour reacts differently. So trying to take one recipe and make it work across the board is not great. It's not the best thing that you can do, but finding out what each flour recipe does in your environment and then adjusting it from there is far more productive. I've been testing all-purpose flours versus bread flours. I can't show you everything because I also do have work, but I can show you the result. That was almost the identical bake, except the day was different. In terms of the Pullman loaves, I didn't use the lid on the Pullman loaves for both of those bakes, and I actually thought I had, on the shorter loaf, I actually thought I missed the mark and had overproofed. It was underproofed, and it's because it's bread flour versus all-purpose flour. Anyways, sausage rolls. And a lot of my learning came from just experimenting. I have a commercial baking background, but commercial baking and sourdough baking are different bread processes, which I am actually working on that recipe video, but that might be September before it's done, because I'm checking my information. I need 100 grams of levain. I want a thicker dough here, almost a wrap. 101. Oh, looks like I might be doing something else today. No more granola. I have enough. I might be adding just a wee bit more of that, just a sec. Maybe I'll do another set of wraps. Should be good. Okay. Let's put you here. How much more do I think I have here? Okay, we'll do an extra little bit, but maybe I'll just add more water. So that's 105 grams of that, 100 grams flour. I'm gonna add a drizzle more water. And the reason I'm adding a little bit more is I can already tell without stirring. But let's be accurate. Yeah, no, I want a little bit more water. Like 10 grams. Nine. 12? 13. Okay. Let's call it 15. Not a lot. It's about 15. I want a firm dough, something that I can roll. Oh, olive oil. I need a glug of olive oil, but I will weigh it. I will weigh it. I will weigh it. I will weigh it. A glug of olive oil, unflavored. Glug, 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 glug. 10 grams. 10 grams. If you guys are reading my blog, I'm so sorry. I did a lot of experimenting. Way back when there wasn't a lot of recipes like this out there. There's a few. There's one lady I used to watch, but I was impatient. And there wasn't that much variety. That feels about right. Okay, so we will let this ferment. This is for my sausage rolls. I'm just having some fun. Now, what should I do with what's left? How much time do I have and what's my energy like? I can just ignore this until I'm ready to pretty much bake. I'll just give it a couple of stretches. But there we go. I'll put that on top of the other one. Let's see what I got left. Too big? Oh, right size. All right. Over here. Just me, right? So I have to consider what I'm consuming as well. This is not a group of us who can eat what I'm creating. And my neighbors like me, but I don't want to give everything away. Oop, let's give this a rinse. How much levain do I have left? I'll decide what I'm doing. So I've recently done oat bars because I was testing a recipe. And those breakfast bars is what they are, but I have enough for at least a month now in my freezer. 53, eh? What else could I get out of here? Maybe I'll do a pizza dough. What am I gonna have for dinner? Flatbread? I do a pizza dough. Why not? So, just call it 70. All right, we're gonna do a demi loaf. So I am gonna wing it. So 70 grams, let's put 300 in. Make sure it's 370. Maybe even thinking 325. But that also includes the levain and okay, close enough. So this is going to be on the lower hydration side. You know I can't do math in my head. Sorry. Salt. 8 grams. Okay, 7's fine. Calculating 400 grams of flour should do the trick. Maybe I'll do something with pumpkin seeds and nutmeg. Yeah, let's do that, actually. Ooh, I have an idea. Whoop. Okay, that's enough with the nutmeg. Let's do a pinch of cinnamon. Do I want to put the cinnamon in now? No, we'll put the cinnamon in as a swirl because I don't want to retard the levain. I don't want to stop the levain. Cinnamon has some antimicrobial properties, if I remember correctly, which is why I stopped there. Black pepper. Where's my black pepper? Ooh, I know what we're doing. This is going to be so good. So this is black pepper and lemon. So it's basically lemon pepper. There is no garlic. It is just black pepper and lemon peel. Oh, that smells fabulous. Okay. Nutmeg. We will put the pumpkin seeds on top. And a swirl of cinnamon. Do I have anything else? Clove would be too powerful. Let's do a little bit of vanilla. Just a little bit. Okay. Clove and mace. I have a pumpkin whipping cream, pumpkin spice recipe. Don't want to add everything. Ginger, allspice. Yeah, a little ginger. Do I have ground? Handy. I have a little ground ginger handy. We will put a pinch in. So many possibilities. Alright, so there's now 12:20. Let's start from the bottom. I think this might be the only other stretch and fold I do. This one has received, this will be the third. Yeah, this is fine. There's plenty of structure there already. So we're just going to leave it now. And that's okay. You have to follow the dough. All right. And the more I work this anyways, the worse it'll get. So you just want to leave it alone now. Put it over here temporarily. Now my little spice bread. I love my experiments. They're fun. Yeah. Okay. It's beautiful dough. I may not get a full rise in the Pullman pan, but it'll be a cute little demi bread. All right, I don't know what this is, but I'm taking it out. Second. I'll be hitting this with cinnamon and possibly a bit more nutmeg before it gets baked. But I also have a whipping cream, which I can tell you about too. So this should be tough. Yeah. And this is what I want. Okay. So we just let this ferment with the others. Doesn't need a lot of work. Sorry, I'm getting texts. So many texts. The bad thing about doing all this on my phone. Okay, leave it all alone. We don't need any more folding right now. So some sesame seed, that's all I got left. Thought I had more. So we're just gonna throw some poppy seeds on here too. We have a fair amount. I don't want tons. Now we have raw pumpkin seeds there. Just cinnamon. Sri Lankan. If you pay attention to that. Not a big deal. And we're going to put a little bit in the bread. Those high temperatures on enamel will eventually start wearing out your enamel too. So if you spent a few $100s on a cast iron enameled pot, sometimes you should just use it for cooking. My thought. All right, what do we have here? Just going to do a quick form. And we're going to let the rest of the rise happen in the pan. And the reason for that, see, I've just broken the skin. Darn. Should have dried it better. It's okay. Nearly forgot. Sugar. Stuff happens. No big deal. No big deal. Where did I put this in? From above. Just want a few on the inside, put some on the outside. This is one way of doing it. Gives your bread and your French toast some texture, but don't overdo it. We don't want to degas. We've worked really hard. So again, sourdough baking is different than commercial yeast baking. The instant yeast The instant yeast has like a second rise, if you will. That just layers it. This is our cinnamon swirl. Boom, boom. Okay, we did not break the skin, and we're going to just gently do it one more time. Gently. It's an eyelash. Give that a minute. And then we'll do this and that. But right now, just let it rest. Sorry. Let it rest. So the timing on this one, you can absolutely do this type of loaf within a day, as long as your temperatures are good. Because at the rate that this is going, I figure I'll be baking by 6, if not sooner. So as it stands, when I put it in the loaf pan, it'll be halfway up, and I will be monitoring this one more than this one, because this one I did a little later. I need a cup of tea. And then I'll just leave the final sausage rolls for a little bit. I'll show you what they look like right now. They're like double the size. So this is what I'm talking about. Like everything is running real fast right now. Really light and airy. I should actually roll it out now. Let's do that. I wanted a cup of tea. Let's just roll it out. If you're okay with using flour, use flour. I prefer digested flour, but not always. It depends. These sorts of breads, should have enough. As a matter of fact, we're degassing this one. Degassing means we're popping the air bubbles. Remember what spices I put in there. I'm just making sure I don't have chunks. So this is similar to a pizza dough. Just let it relax. Let it rest. And in she goes. Oh, I hope you saw that. Anyways, I'm gonna do it the same thing on this one. I'll check the footage. So wet your hands side to side to coax the dough into your hands. If it's sticky, pumpkin seed side to side. Get your edges, bottom, top's most important. Remember where your top is. Okay. And this is the demi loaf. A little cinnamon. Oh no! I must have gone underneath. That's okay. We're not degassing, I'm just pressing. Okay. Fair enough. You will wash this afterwards because there will be a residual cinnamon smell. If you don't, it's one of the reasons why I don't do certain things in stoneware. I do not want garlic transferring into my pans, which will therefore transfer into something like a cinnamon loaf. We don't do that. But there's other things you can do, like a dedicated pan, if you're big into baking, which I am. Oh, they're quite chill now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 8, 10. This has a ruler, but it's not accurate. I don't know if that's accurate. We're just checking on things. I've had my tea. Made me very happy. It's 4:24. Where's my thermometer? I had to turn the air up. It was so warm. It's 24 degrees in here now, so 24.1. 75. I just left this out. I'm not too worried about it. I'm the one eating it. Okay, so these look like they're ready to go. Pretty sure the bread is also ready to go. So. I think we're close. This one not so much. Let's bake the sausage rolls. 375. Start. We'll start with those. Because this one really looks like it's ready to go. I just feel like this one, because I started it a little later, wants another half an hour. But if I keep it closer to the warmth that I'm about to generate, I can probably just coax it forward a bit. If you know anything about sinks and that sort of stuff, and it worked. So I'm just gonna, there's a vent here. So I'm going to keep it close but not next to it so that I don't have uneven heat, but I will flip it. Otherwise I'll have one side of the bread rise higher than the other. Let me check something. Let's do it that way. Okay, sausage rolls first, then we'll see where we're at. So these are definitely done. That's lovely. Okay, now, here's the game plan. We're not putting a lid on this one because it's ready to go. See that? So this tells me, this is why I love this style of pan, is when you have temperatures like this, you can tell when to bake your sourdough or your commercial yeast bread. This one is perfect. I don't think it'll get right to the top, but it'll get close, so I'll keep the lid on this one. I'm going to wait for this to come up a little bit, and this one we're going to put onto a tray to cool. I am going to try a score on this one, just to see what happens. Genuinely don't think it matters. You see it split at the side. Alright, where's my oven? It's 435. We're just going to put it in. It's steaming hot in there. 440. In she goes. And I expect some of the seeds will drop off, so there we go. You don't need to trap the steam on this one. It's already moist in there. I am having a day. This is like, listen, you can hear it crackling. It's literally right out of the oven. But like I said, well, I just said, but I broke a bowl. I have to clean up. I want to see the crumb on this one. I'll cut it in half this way. Yes. Look at that. Sweet. Oh yeah. This is fall written all over it. Alright, so we have a plan for this bread. A little uneven. Let's go right down the center and see how the inside looks. Look at that. Nice. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay.